think we're out here. Let's see. Ready? Let me try it. All right, we're at number 2 and number 3.
Oh.
Bada bing, bada bing, bada bing. We have a winner. And then we're back to 2. Bada bing, bada bing, bada bing, bada bing, bada bing.
Dude.
Yo, I'm just kind of the boss.
No.
Nah, not really, but it's all right.
I wonder, we're probably going to have to do a little clickety-click every now and then to keep that live, because I know when you're sharing screens like that, sometimes it goes.
What do you mean keep it live?
So it doesn't go black.
Oh, is my mic on? Hold on, don't say anything.
Yeah, it's on.
Hold on, don't say anything. Oh, it's just a little delayed. Okay.
Yeah, it's delayed.
Yeah. That's cool, though.
All right.
All right.
Wait, so are we live right now, dude?
The world can see us.
Billions and billions of people.
Everyone around the world is tuned into 20-somethings podcast as we talk about virtual reality.
Yeah, virtual reality.
And then other shit that we don't know yet.
This is kind of like a virtual reality. People that are tuning into us, it's like they feel like they're sitting in on a conversation, but they're not actually here.
That's going to be the next
development. To some degree.
I think.
Oh, that's what you were saying to me earlier about the basketball games. Like you can be somewhere without actually being there.
Yes.
It's kind of cool.
I want to make a new development for this podcast. So the next episode that you guys watch, you're going to be able to put your Oculuses on and just like
actually we just
faces.
received a bunch of money from Apple. And they want to install. So if you're watching the live stream right next to me, there's going to be this like big machine, and basically Apple was like, wow, 20-somethings, you have so many followers. We want to design a specific model for your podcast so people can tune in and feel like they're hanging out with you because you guys are so cool. Everybody wants to hang out with you.
It's actually going to go right in the center of the table because it's a 360 camera, so then they can just like.
Oh yeah, that's what they said. They said it in the center of the table.
See now, I'm just thinking about it and the logistical issues of this, of like people having to like turn and look at Grant and turn and look at Keith.
No, it's it's the same as it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they got to do what they got to do. This is our show. You do what you have to do to watch.
Yeah, honestly, Apple, like, this is our show. Don't come up in here telling us what to do. Yeah. All right, we're down. We're down.
You're in the 20-somethings.
We're down now with the virtual reality 20-somethings. But don't come in here and tell us what to do.
Yeah, being all beep boppity beep beep.
Yeah. Yeah, don't come in here all
none of that. None of that beep boppity beep beep. We only do boop boopity boop boops.
No boops. All right.
No, only boops.
No
beeps.
All right. Some boops, no beeps.
I can concur with that.
All right, this is stupid as hell. All right,
we're gonna start now.
All right,
so we actually did want to talk about. We can keep that in. We did want to talk about virtual reality though, like on a more serious note.
Yeah. Well, we decided we want to do this episode because I was telling Keith. Yeah. I was explaining to Keith that I had my first virtual reality experience last week. I was upstate. I was at an old friend's place, and he bought an Oculus. And I was about to leave his apartment. He was like, "Before you go, you have to try this." And I was like, "I don't know, man. I kind of gotta go." Like, it didn't. Like, I wasn't like attracted to it. I wasn't like, "Oh, like cool," because in my head, virtual reality to me is like, I don't know, like going to like an IMAX movie. It's like been there, done that.
Right.
You know, like
right.
I don't need. I just zero appeal to me. Like not once through this whole like virtual reality development over the past few years have I ever been like, wow, I need to try that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just see the pictures of people with the thing on their head, and I'm just like,
well, because for the longest time, I mean, technology is a development, right? So like for the longest time, you had like these quote virtual reality things, but they were these big helmets. You remember like going to the arcade and you like these big
or even the things that you sat in. Like you remember the games that you sat in, like that could theoretically be like a virtual reality.
But it didn't really feel like it.
Yeah.
And they have like the ones that are now that are like cardboard that you can put on, or like the $20 ones that you can buy at Walmart that you stick your phone in and it becomes virtual reality.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it's dumb. I've tried one. It's dumb. It doesn't.
That's like making your own version of a movie, like on a home video camera.
Yeah, but it's also just like this is total bullshit, you know?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like that's like selling somebody like a copy of the Avengers, but you made it.
Right, you took a video of it on your camera.
Yeah, like you made it on your iPhone, and you were like, "Hey, this is the Avengers."
Yeah,
that's what that is.
It's like you dressed up in like a green suit.
Yeah, exactly. It's so bootleg.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I at my friend's house, and he was like, "You gotta try this." I was like, fine." I put it on my head, and he was like, "I'm gonna play you something," and he played me a video. That's specifically designed for, I don't know if it's for Oculus or just VR. I don't know that much about it, but it's designed for virtual reality of Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit was nutso. That was crazy. It's like it opens up and you're just like in Jurassic Park, and you just follow the dinosaurs around, man. And it was kind of funny because when I was a kid, well, it's Ryan, but I've known him since I was young. And when I was young, I was obsessed with dinosaurs. He was like, "I'm about to make your life, dude."
Yeah, did they teach you the dinosaur call?
Yeah, they were like, "Here's what you do."
No, that's not it, Grant.
Yeah, they were like, here's what you do.
That's the
And I was like,
dinosaur
really?
call.
I don't know if that's...
Yeah, see, they're amateurs. That's the lame one. You got to go beep, beep, bitty, boop, boop,
No,
beep, bop.
no.
Yes, that will get you the dinosaurs.
No.
T-Rexes respond
No,
to
you
beep,
gotta
beep,
go.
beep, boop, boop.
And then they all flock. I was like, I did that. I was like...
The trees start rustling.
And like, I was like, hordes of dinosaurs came out. I was like, all right, relax. It wasn't that good.
Take it off.
I was like, I'm not that good at the dinosaur call.
Yeah. Anyway. So, yes, that's a... That's the way that virtual reality works. Is you can do like games and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
But then, like I was saying to you, is they now have it, which I think this is gonna change, one, TV, and two, like live streaming TV.
Oh, for sure.
Is I can't like foresee how this is going to affect sporting events and like gaming events and stuff.
Well, what I'm curious about is how it's going to affect socializing, because. So
Yeah.
we've spoken about this. I think it might have even been on the last podcast, where one of the first things that came into my head while I was doing this was, wow, in 5 years, people aren't going to be on their cell phones on the subway.
No.
They're just going to put these things on. You don't even have to be where you are.
Have you seen the oh my god, what is that movie? It just came out. The gaming movie. I'm totally blanking on it. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna look it up. Hold on. I'm gonna look it up. Because it's literally is that.
Isn't it, I know what Spielberg did it.
Yes.
What is that? What is it?
I'm blanking on it. Hold on. It's Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Ready Player One.
I didn't see it. Do you see it?
It's good. It's really good. Yeah, but that's exactly what it is. Like you're put into this world, the Oasis, I think. The Oasis.
It's a good name for a world.
Yeah, right. And it can be any world. So they have like you can go into like Super Mario Brothers world where you're in the Super Mario's game.
They have that in the movie?
Yeah, they have like all sorts of different. I don't know if they have Super Mario specifically, but they have like all sorts of like famous iconic characters and their like levels and stuff like that. It's pretty cool to look at. But you put on like the mask and like they have like suits and they have like a treadmill so that you can run around, but you're still on like this 360-degree treadmill. You can run in all directions, but you're in there with all your friends and you like collect coins. But people don't socialize at all. Like in the real world, like it has become their real world. This new Oasis, whatever.
But do they socialize in that world?
Yeah.
So then what's the problem?
Well, I guess that's the argument. What is the problem with that? But like going back to live TV and stuff. I know that for me, when I go to like sporting games, like if I go and watch a basketball game, I don't want to go and watch a basketball game by myself. Like I love going to a game with my friends.
Yeah.
Like me and Chris will go see a Celtics game or something like that. It's great. But now they have this thing. They partnered up with the NBA where you can sit courtside at the game. Like by putting on these VR goggles, all of a sudden you're now courtside looking all over the place. Like. I don't know. That sounds amazing at first glance.
Yeah.
But then, like, okay, I'm doing this what am I going to sit in my living room, like, by myself?
I mean, that's no different, though, than when you just watch a game by yourself on the computer. Why is that any different?
True, but it will never make me want to go to it. I guess, I don't know. I don't know if it would make me want to go to a game, maybe just to experience it with someone else.
I still think that until they can mimic a full sensory experience of like smells, tastes, visuals, and sound and all of that, until they can mimic that 100%, there's still going to be a desire to go. Yeah. Because like, okay, that's fine. You can go and you get visuals and sound, but there's something about going to live events in any capacity, in any genre, whether it's sports or a concert, where it's like, let's say it was a concert. Like they're probably going to do the same thing for concerts. It's like you don't like feel like the crowd like bumping up against you. Like all of these small things they combine to create this overall experience. It's not just visual.
Right.
It's not. It's like it's physical and sensory. And
Right.
so until VR is at that level, it's not
like,
going to be the same. It's cool. It's
Right.
an awesome option.
But
I
it's
think.
not a replacement.
But
for
it's
being
not a
there live.
replacement yet. But it
Yeah.
probably will be eventually.
Well, like I'm just thinking of in terms of like basketball games, like someone hits like a shot down late in the fourth quarter, and the whole crowd goes nuts.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get that from being.
Yeah, you'll just get like distortion in your ears from your
Right.
headphones. It'll be so loud.
right.
So it's like, yeah,
And you know,
because
like,
people
you're
are
not
saying,
high-fiving the random dude next to you. You know, like
yeah, because I remember having a conversation with somebody, and they were like, yeah, you're gonna be able to like go anywhere because you can just put it on, you'll be there.
Right.
It's like, yeah, no,
Right.
not really.
And also Google Earth, like you can kind of, you know what I'm saying, like Google
Yeah,
Images.
I get the difference now because the 360 thing on like the Oculus
Yeah.
is crazy. That's like the clincher for me because like you say Google Earth and it's like, yeah, but it's still like here's the
screen in front of
screen and
you.
you're looking directly at the screen. If you turn, that's your wall or whatever.
Right.
But on this, like you're just completely in that world. I was so like my standards for what I thought VR were so low.
You know, they have like places, I know at least in this city, that you can go to. It's called VR World. And you go, and it's like you put the VR on. They have all sorts of different games that you can play. Like one is like one is a horror game where things are popping out at you.
No, thanks.
Yeah, I know, right?
No,
like
thanks.
that's scary as fuck.
Yeah.
That like
Yeah.
They have one where you're like walking a tightrope between two buildings and like.
See, that's
step
nuts
off.
to me, man, because I just watched the one thing, and like at some points it looks like the dinosaurs are gonna charge at you, and even that you're like, oh man, this is jarring,
Right.
which is weird. It's like stupid brain,
Right.
Like the stupid brain can't
get
process that it's right. Exactly, your brain is getting tricked that this is real, and that in and of itself is like, okay, so VR is actually a thing now. If it has the capacity to trick your brain into thinking that you might actually be coming into contact with one of these like digital entities,
Yeah.
like. Good job, VR people. That's
Right.
pretty impressive.
I mean, think about where it was 5 years ago, right? Like the closest we had to like VR was probably like the Wii. You know what I'm saying? Like where you had like this like clunky remote. Think about back to
Yeah.
the Wii now. It's like a TV remote.
Yeah.
And you're like waving around. It wasn't calibrated with the TV
Does
at all.
Nintendo have VR now? Do they have something that they're working on?
No, I mean they have. No. They still have like the wand stuff that you use with the Switch. Like the things move around. I
Side
guess.
note: Pokemon Go made $850 million last year.
Right. That's augmented reality.
Pokemon.
That's another huge
Go.
one. They just made a Sims that's augmented reality. So you can like go to your house and like put like a little like house on your desk, and every time you use the app and go to that part of your house, there will be like your house and you build on that.
Nah,
Yeah, nuts.
that's stupid. That
think-
sounds like the most boring game ever.
Really?
What? I'm gonna build a little village on my desk?
I mean,
No,
G Crow doesn't want to do that.
no,
G Crow doesn't have any
I'd
friends
rather-
though. He needs a village.
dude. I have friends. I have an entire village actually of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's their names?
Craig.
Jerry.
Well, there's Craig.
I've met Jerry.
There's Jerry. There's
Sophia's pretty cool.
There's
She's a little weird.
Michael, and there Derek,
Oh, Derek. Yeah.
and they all have kids and stuff, so we're all friends.
Yeah, their kids are young though. You don't really.
Nah, we chill though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You play games with them.
yeah, man. We play. Honestly, in the village, our favorite pastime is kickball.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
I've
it's a
heard
good place. You should come by sometime.
I've already been there without you.
No, that wouldn't happen because Derek, he guards it at all times. We have like a big wall around the village, and Derek has a crossbow.
Dude.
And if he sees anybody that he doesn't know that I haven't personally approved to enter the village, he just shoots them on spot.
Dude.
I told him to do that.
Listen, you might think that, but me and Derek,
No,
dude, we're fucking tight, man.
no. Derek had,
Dude.
Derek swore his
Dude.
allegiance to me years ago.
Yeah, well, that's what you think.
I keep Derek
He's-
locked in a cage.
But you don't really know he's a Lannister, Derek. He
No.
betrays.
Mm-mm.
And me
Nope.
and him, like I
He's
said,
part of the
tight,
village.
bro. We came from the same womb, me and Derek.
No. Derek was Derek was actually born in a test tube. I made Derek.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Well, I also made you.
oh, damn.
So,
You think so?
if you want to call the test tube that you came out of the same womb as Derek, then sure.
Shit.
But I banished you. That's why you're not allowed in the village.
My whole history is being reimagined.
Yeah, I
now.
banished you because you were messing shit up, dude.
Dude.
You were disturbing the peace in the village. And so there's no way you would have gone into the village because you're on a red list. So if Derek saw you, crossbow right in the chest.
So, well, the chest wouldn't kill me. I have protective armor on
No.
across my nipples.
Yes. No.
You would have to shoot me square in the face, and I know Derek does not have good enough aim to do that.
Dude, the reason why Derek is on guard is because he has the best aim in the village.
That's what you think. You made a faulty product because you suck at making things in test tubes. Hence me.
Yeah. Anyway.
Derek's cool.
That when we were just doing that though, it seems like so we were just telling like sort of a ridiculous story that nobody's gonna care about, and they probably turned off the podcast during that entire spiel.
I hope they did.
That's fine. But what's funny is storytelling, right?
Yeah.
Is like a very primitive version of virtual reality. It's like you're creating images in somebody's mind, storytelling or books. You're trying. People have been for hundreds of years been trying to like tap into a reality that isn't their own.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess like up until this point, it was totally projected by their own imagination.
Right. Now it's someone
else's imagination that's creating that reality for you to engage with. I wonder if we're ever going to get to a point where it's like, I have this image in my head that I want to create. Can I just project it instantaneously?
That's kind of what the Oasis is. That's kind of what it is.
Yeah, but the Oasis isn't a real thing.
No, I know, but I'm saying in the movie, like, that's kind of the idea, is that you can literally go anywhere, any type of world.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, are we ever going to have the capacity where it's like you turn this on and maybe you have like, I don't know, like a remote control and you just create stuff like that's popping into your head and just comes into.
I would put money on that being a thing in 10 years. Money on it. Dude, yes. You're saying like think it and then it appears?
Yes.
Yeah.
If that's the case, nobody's ever taking those things off.
No.
Never.
No. But no. And so we got to do something about that, right? Because that's not a good thing inherently. As human beings that live in a physical world that need nourishment and need...
I would have to be completely honest, I'd have to see how it all pans out.
Well, okay, so listen. It would be a good thing in doses and at... Think about kids, right? Think about just like social media, like what we talked about last week. Imagine a kid that is totally enveloped in this type of world. Yeah, they're going to be creative as hell, creating all sorts of different worlds and good. They have no social skills.
But what I'm saying is like if we can mimic all of what we need in these worlds, like to me this doesn't seem as like apocalyptic as other things that could develop. Like to me this actually seems really cool. It's like, yeah, well, no, you can't mimic food, but you could probably hook yourself up to an IV and get all your nutrients while you lay there with your thing on.
G-Craw's gonna be
no,
the
but
next dictator, G-Craw.
But couldn't you see that happening? Like everybody's just like, so the human race is just like we're all not gonna live in this world anymore. We're gonna go into this virtual reality world. So we've created these giant buildings where you can go and just lay down, and we're requiring everybody to do it by February 15th. Go get your spot, and we'll hook you up, and you'll be with your family, and you'll all be in the virtual world. But this is a better world than the one we live in, and it's more sustainable.
Can you imagine too? Like I've thought about this before, where they're able to sustain people for longer than their actual period of life. You know what I'm saying? So
there's a Black Mirror episode about that.
You can just like lie in this thing.
Have you seen that one?
I don't think so.
It's kind of like they go into a virtual, their like consciousness is like uploaded, and so like.
Oh, I have seen that one. Yes.
With the two women.
Yes. Yeah.
That's sort of what you're saying, right?
Yeah, like
kind of crazy.
Upload your brain.
Well, that's apparently definitely going to happen.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Dude, is that good?
No, it's not.
That's crazy, man. Just to think, like...
There's a reason we have finite... I don't know. See, I say that, but I'm like, it would be kind of cool to never...
No, I think I want to die. I don't, like...
This took a dark turn.
I want to die. Yeah, I don't know how many people... People are always like... yeah, virtual reality and technological developments, we're going to be able to live forever. I'm not sure how many people are actually going to like be on board with that. I
Right.
feel like you're going to get to a point where it's like if you live forever, you're just going to get bored and curious about what not living is like.
Right. Well, what's the end game here? What's the whole? If you're not gonna die, then really, what's the purpose? Because the thing that drives human beings is like, I've got to do this before I perish.
Right.
Like, I've got to get this thing done. These are my boom, boom, boom bucket list.
Well, I still think people would do things. I just think that
You run out of things
I
to
think
do.
that living forever doesn't um take away any of like the suffering of life, so that's still going to exist, and life is like really unbearable sometimes. So after like 300 years of dealing with life, like I'm exhausted sometimes. There are some days where I'm just like absolutely exhausted at 25 years old.
Right.
So imagine being like 300 years old and still dealing with like all of like the emotions and
Yeah. You just
whatever.
you just grow
But I
tired
guess
of
like
it.
people are also saying like they're literally testing maybe it was a Radio Lab episode I listened to or something, a podcast, but they're testing medications that just like uh, eliminate the feeling of suffering. They're testing them in mice right now.
What?
So they're saying like they're going to combine these medications that will only allow people to feel like be in a state of content while living forever. So we're literally like making ourselves gods.
Ew. That's gross. I don't
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, but
Look, people need to suffer
I don't
in
know,
order to
man.
grow, and because they're. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Because you're gonna eventually
Well, they said
run
that
into
people would
something-
still understand because like one of the arguments against it is that
You can understand it, that's fine, but you don't know how to deal with it. There's a difference. If you haven't suffered in 150 years, and then all of a sudden some fucking crazy lunatic comes along and starts wiping out people, who the hell is gonna know how to deal with that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but
they're.
they'll just give that lunatic the happy pills.
Oh my goodness, we're literally in 1984. Like, we're in the George Orwell movie or book.
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. Apparently it's like really far off. They're doing like tests in mice, but they explain it because like one of the objections is like, well, if you don't feel something, how can you understand it? And it's like in the same way that like you don't maybe you might not know like what it feels like to starve, but you can have some sort of understanding of what that might be like.
Yeah, but I don't. Sure, because you've gone hungry for 12 hours at one point, or because you've.
Well, no, just because like you can compound life experience and then project it onto like a concept that you might not have personally experienced.
We might be able to do that, but think about generations down the line that never have to worry about that. Immediately, when they're 3, they are given a non-suffering pill, and then for generations after that, it's the same thing.
Dude, it always goes back to me. Whenever I hear about this shit, I just think of The Giver. Like,
Right.
I think like that is what the future is gonna look like
It's it
in some
puts a
capacity.
chill up my spine.
Yeah.
I like, while these things are cool, these like the virtual reality and being able to imagine any sort of world and project it, and then boom, you're there, and all of your friends are there, and you're there. It all sounds well and dandy and
Yeah.
like lollipops, but there's.
I wonder if it's going to be
repercussions for it.
regulated by the government. Like if it gets to a
think it would
point
have to
where
be.
it's like you can use your Oculus or whatever it's called at that point for a couple hours a day and that's it.
I think it would have to be because
That's insane. It's like the government's going to regulate your use of technology.
I don't know if it would be the government, because I think that people would just inherently be pissed off if the government did something like that. But I think it would have to be the company would have to take some moralistic
Don't
code.
think so because I don't think they would. Look at it right now. Look at how many hours are spent on Instagram
Right,
and
but
Facebook.
but we're at the turning point now where we're just starting to realize the repercussions of that stuff, and you're seeing the companies doing something about it, like not really full scale yet, but Facebook is doing things to try and not Facebook. Apple is doing things. They're putting things on your phone where you can track how much time you're spending on your phone. They're trying to make people more aware that they're spending too much time.
I guess I just have a bad taste in my mouth. Like I feel like all of that's just for show, and they're just like still trying to make as much money as possible. They just want to now change their image to make it seem like they care.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Like I feel like as long as they're making money, they don't give a fuck about how much time you spend using their product.
Sure, but I think that maybe it would be the government, because there's going to be my understanding of if people were in virtual reality all the time is their physical beings and their physical mental state would become insane. I think people would literally go crazy if they were in a world like that at all times and not nourishing themselves and spending time with real people and things that you can touch and feel, and it would drive people nuts.
Yeah.
So I think.
But I'm saying, like, I'm not talking about like this, like, sort of, because we're still in a primitive state of virtual reality. I'm talking about when we get to a point where, like, they are touching and feeling things in this virtual reality, and it's so sensory and accurate that you just feel like you're living.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how somebody would go insane in that way unless you're going back and forth and back and forth. It seems to me like it's gonna get to the point where you're gonna have to choose one or the other. I think, like, the oscillation of going, like, from this reality to this one to this one to this one to this one to this one, that would make somebody go insane.
Yeah, but you can't stay in a virtual. Look at the Black Mirror episode of the spaceship one, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The one where and then they end up making him
Oh,
stuck
yeah.
in there, right?
Yeah.
You can't be stuck in a world if everyone is stuck in a virtual world, who is running this physical world?
That's what I'm saying. The companies.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying.
This is
They're gonna here's the plan.
Irks me.
We're gonna get virtual reality to a point where we make it appealing. We're gonna say you can have everything you want. So everybody goes to these chambers and they're
You
hooked
want
up.
this?
No, I don't want this.
Okay.
But they're hooked up to IVs, and that's how they're getting all their nutrients. And so millions and billions of people are all doing this around the world, and then the few rich people now get to take advantage of all the resources on Earth. Yeah. Yeah.
It's gross.
That's what I would do.
That's what you would do if you were rich?
Yeah.
Great. We all know to not give Grant money anymore.
No,
Grant's
you should all
relatives, no
invest
more
in my
money at
new
Christmas.
product. You should invest in my new product.
What's the product called?
It's a virtual reality product.
Did Craig make it?
No. This
No?
was Michael.
Oh.
Yeah, we're working on it at the Village.
Well, you should have hired Jerry because he's much better than Michael. And I know that because I've been in your village. Like I said, Craig let me in.
Yeah, no, that's not true. But yeah, so Michael's been working on this virtual reality thing. It's called what do you call it?
What's it called, Grant? What's it called? Give
It's
us a
called
name.
Utopia.
Oh wow, original.
Yeah, it's called Utopia, and it's in a beta phase
You're
right now.
You're a real innovator.
Oh,
Grant.
dude, you should see it. You put that on, and it's crazy.
Yeah, things go haywire.
Yeah.
All the pleasures.
Yeah. So basically,
Hedonistic lifestyle.
Yeah, dude. And so we offer this service where you can just come to the village. You just come to our village, and we'll hook you up to an IV, give you all your nutrients, and you
Nice.
can put the Utopia on and just hang out with us.
So cult.
No.
I think you're turning into Crystalia.
No. So yeah, you can come to the village. Michael, Jerry,
Greg, they're all there.
Greg, we're all hanging out, and we have open spots if you want to come hook yourself up to one of our virtual reality IVs.
How many spots do you have?
Mad spots.
Mad spots?
Yeah, we've built many spots.
Like 8?
No, like 10.
Oh, like 10. Like, oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Right now we can accommodate 10 people. So if you're one of those lucky 10 and you want to come hook yourself up to our IVs,
Do you have any particular people that you would die to have in your 10 IV pools? That's what we're calling them now.
I would love it if Trump came and hooked himself up to one of my IVs.
Oh my God. Really?
Yeah.
You'd want him in
In my
IV
village?
pool?
Yes.
You want him to live forever?
I think that the village could change him.
You think would the village thrive though? Would he change the village?
No, we'd get him hooked up to the IV real quick.
Nah, village doesn't change, bro.
To be honest, man, I don't know. That guy could probably like go into VR and still like figure some way out to like rig the system and
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna become the new G-Craw of the village. It's not your village anymore, bro.
He'd be like, nah,
Trump's village.
This isn't Utopia anymore.
It's Trumptopia.
It's Trumptopia. Let's order some McDonald's. Get this party going.
Dude, that image of him with the McDonald's and the Burger King,
Unbelievable.
I still haven't been able to get over it.
I can't. fathom that he doesn't realize how ridiculous that is.
Can we pull up that now? Okay, so we're testing a new thing on this episode.
Beta.
We're in the beta of this episode where we're testing a new thing to be able to pull up whatever the hell we want and show you guys. So I'm gonna switch on over here to number 3. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. I've got my iPad in front of me. What am I looking up? Trump with
the fast food.
Oh shit! Did I just? Oh no, I didn't. Okay. Trump fast food. You gotta look at this, people. You gotta look at this. If you haven't seen it yet, and if you don't follow this man on Twitter and like the things that he does, please do yourself a favor. You want to laugh? Yes, because I laugh at it. There's so many people that it's so funny. I look at his Twitter feed and it's like the same like 6 or 7 people that just yell at him over his, and I'm like,
what do you mean? Who? Like people?
Just random people on Twitter. Yeah, just people that are either trying to be political, whoosy whaties or whatever. But
it's funny if you're responding to Donald Trump and thinking you're making a difference.
Right. It's like you're not doing anything. You're really just tooting your own horn. And I get it. You're mad at him.
Yeah.
We're all mad at him.
Quit
but that
tooting.
doesn't do it.
Knock it off with the tooting, people. Listen.
Look at this
If you
image.
respond to somebody, you got it up?
I got it up. Look at that image. Look at the jazz hands, okay? He's got jazz hands going. He's got an overcoat that goes down to his ankles.
But also, I feel like that's his dinner every night.
Yes.
I feel like he goes into that room every night. They're like, Donald, your dinner's ready. He walks into that. And every night he's like so surprised. He's like, it's the same. No way.
Burgers again.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, my favorite.
You know that they he sent out a tweet about it. First he said he had 300 hamburgers. Then he sent out a tweet saying he had 1,000 hamburgers.
Burgers?
He spelt it wrong. Hamburgers. So then he had to go back and recorrect it, but he's still at a fat.
I'm surprised he recorrected it and he didn't double down on that. He was like, "No, that's the new name."
Burger King came up with a thing. They're like, "Sorry, we're all out of hamburgers today. We only have hamburgers left." But anyway, that's
kind of silly though. I feel like people it's like, "Oh wow, he made a typo," like whatever.
Yeah, but this image, like, just look at this, okay? This is the Trump presidency in its whole. If there's one image that you could look at and say, hey, 100 years from now, hey, how was Trump's presidency? That.
Yeah. I mean,
that
what was he thinking? What did he say? Why did he do this?
He had to, he's like the world's best troll. He had to have known.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. Anyone in their right mind that orders for Clemson. Now, mind you, this is an undefeated football team, the first time ever college football team that went undefeated, and he invited them to the White House and everything. He doesn't have to serve them dinner. A lot of the times they don't serve them dinner. He also owns a hotel right down the street that he could have gotten dinner catered to the White House for.
Right.
But instead, I spent all of my own money on Burger King and McDonald's.
Dude, see,
Wendy's,
it's so ridiculous.
Domino's.
It's so ridiculous. He has to know that this was going to go viral.
Yes, he did.
He has to know. It has to be some sort of distraction or just like attention-seeking thing.
Yes. There's
no way. Like, people are like, how could he do that? Like, that's so disrespectful, like, so ridiculous. It's like, he knows exactly what he's doing.
How could he not do that?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Think about his mind and then ask yourself, would he not do that? No, he would totally do that.
Well, but people are saying it's like it's dumb of him. Like, why would he do that? It's disrespectful. It's like, it's calculated.
Right.
It has to be calculated.
It's 100%. It's not. It's disrespectful. Yes, I agree. It's definitely disrespectful.
I don't know if it's necessarily disrespectful.
Come on. You're serving them, first of all, on silver platters that have been in the White House for over 100 years. You're going to serve. Oh, my fucking notifications about how much money I have just came up. Silver. You're going to serve them on like pure silver platters with no heat underneath them. So these athletes are getting these burgers cold. Pizza, cold. Everything is cold. It's stale. Like, they all came out afterwards. A few of them came out afterwards. Like, it was terrible. Like, everything was gross. That's very disrespectful.
Yeah. No, it's disrespectful, but you just said that they don't even usually do dinner. So if they don't usually do dinner, the fact that he gave anything is...
I guess, but at the same time, like if you're gonna do it, do it. You know, don't just like literally call it the local McDonald's like, yeah, I need 1,000.
Imagine getting that
hamburgers.
call at the fast food
I would
place.
think it was a joke. I'd be like, this isn't the real president. We're
Yeah.
not doing that. And then you don't, and then McDonald's gets shut down in DC.
the guys.
He's
the
like, that's
guy
it, McDonald's. I'm
had to
pulling the plug.
That had to deliver that food.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the regular scheduled programming. Do you want to go? Do you want to go into unpopular opinions?
Yeah. Okay. So,
wanna
well, let's
explain
wrap
this?
up virtual reality. Virtual reality.
Virtual reality.
I highly recommend people try it out. I think
haven't
it's
tried it
really.
yet.
You haven't tried it yet?
No, I haven't. So
It's
I'm
really
excited
crazy. It takes a couple minutes for your eyes to adjust, but then it's wild. And I don't know if you're. I don't know. It can really go one of two ways. I think it could be amazing. I think it's going to either be amazing or interesting. I don't want to say it's going to be bad just yet. I don't have such a dystopian taste in my mouth for it.
It's intriguing.
Yeah, it's definitely intriguing, and
Yeah.
it's very wow. It's so captivating to try it. Like, if you're one of those people that is like, no, that looks dumb, and you see the photos of people with the stupid thing on their head and they look stupid, you're like, I don't want to look like that. Just try it out.
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
Give it a gander.
So, over here at 20 somethings, VR has my endorsement, which is the only endorsement that matters,
Okay.
and the endorsement of the
Sure.
Village.
Sure, Grant. The Village likes it.
Yeah, the Village.
Man,
I told you, the Village is investing. We have the IV virtual reality. Get all your nutrients and just hang out.
You're all gonna find out within the next like 30 months. The Village doesn't like Grant.
That's not true.
They don't like him. They're
Dude.
trying to revolt. They just.
Dude,
they
do you
don't
know?
have
Do
a
you
set
know how
leader
many
yet,
paintings of myself are hanging
but
up
they're
in the
leaning
Village?
towards
Do you know?
this guy.
No. Do you know how many paintings of myself are hanging up in the Village? People have paintings of me in their homes.
And they're
Everybody
all
in the
fucking
Village.
horrible.
No,
They
no,
paint
man.
them wrong on purpose.
No.
They give you a green mustache.
No, dude. No, they literally
They don't brush
spend,
your teeth before they draw it. So you got rotten teeth.
They go on fucking Etsy and hire a painter to paint a beautiful portrait of me for their homes.
Oh yeah.
And before they get it done, they have to approve the image, and I'm like, yeah, that looks good.
Guess who that
And-
painter is, Grant?
It's not you.
It's me.
No, it's not, dude. It's some girl named Jasmine who lives in Croatia.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jasmine in Croatia. Shout out to you for all the awesome portraits of me. They all look really nice in the Village.
You're welcome. That's me.
We have
I'm
one
Jasmine.
hanging in every room.
I know. I put them
And you know, people are like, isn't that a little weird? Like, isn't it kind of like, you know, a little dictatory, like a little bit Kim Jong-un? I'm like, no, it's just they just really like me.
there. Yeah. Okay,
They just
Grant.
honestly, they like me.
Okay, Grant. Sure, man. You
So-
keep telling yourself that. Do you want to explain unpopular opinions?
Yeah, you can as well if you want.
You want me to explain it?
Yeah, go for it.
How about
We can
both
vote.
things?
We can tag team it.
You wanna?
Well,
one
we're
word?
starting a new segment now because we're growing. You know, we were
building.
in our embryonic state
Yeah, we had
for
a
the
foundation,
past 6 months,
and then we got walls.
You know, as a podcast, we're developing. If you're still listening, we really appreciate you. But we're trying to figure out exactly what we are still. And you know, some weeks we have guests, some we don't, and it's just Keith and I. And we're trying to make it more fun and more interactive. And I don't know. We're just trying to develop it into more of a program. And
Trying to kind of give it a structure.
yeah, right. We love the unstructured thing. Like we love just talking. But for the sake of our listeners, we want to give people something to look forward to, maybe segments that they really enjoy.
Yeah.
So we're starting this new segment now called Unpopular Opinions.
Yeah, because we got a lot of those.
Yeah. And these aren't our opinions necessarily, although we will be talking about them. What we're doing is each week, and we recommend you tune into the live stream now because we have visuals for all of this. Each week we're going to go on Reddit, and there's threads that are called Unpopular Opinions, and we're going to bring them up. We're going to read them to you, and then we're going to dissect them and see what people are thinking out there.
Mm-hmm.
There are some very bizarre posts, which is why this is going to be really fun and funny. And so yeah, this is our new segment. We're going to be trying it out for the next few weeks, and we'll probably do it with guests too, because I think that'll be fun.
Right. We're trying to get also another reason we're doing this is I'm gonna read them off to you, right? But tune into the live stream because we figured out a way to get this, the image of Reddit or whatever to bump up onto the live stream, so you can kind of follow along. You can read it. It makes it kind of more of an interactive experience. Also, we have a chat that we do on Twitch and we do on YouTube as well that pops right up on the screen on the live stream. So your chat messages will go in. If you have any comments about any of these things, you can chat right in, and we'll do our best to see it and to kind of respond.
Yeah. So if you have a opinion about our unpopular opinions, go at it. We'll respond to you if you message in. Before we get started, I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
All right, do it. I'll start talking about the unpopular opinions. So we have this segment. Maybe even one day, what we can do while Grant goes to the bathroom, he doesn't have to hear this, so I can kind of insert into the ether of possible ideas, and he won't know about it. Ha 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 ha. One thing that we could